Hey yo, what's up YouTube, man? It's your boy Ashton Jackson, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the top 5 Dallas Cowboy role players that need to step up coming towards the 2023-24 NFL season. So before we hop into the video, I appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content, man. With this list, just to go off, first off in the video, letting you know that it's in no particular order. Just start out the list. Number 5 is Deuce Vaughn. Right now, up in the air right now in terms of the depth chart right now is running back 2. And I feel like if Deuce Vaughn easily wins out running back 2 and he convincingly wins that spot, I think that he should do just fine in the NFL. I understand some people are going to knock him down just for his height, but there's plenty of guys that played in the league before. Prime example is Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles wasn't that tall. He was like 5'5", 5'6", around the same height as Deuce Vaughn. I understand that's completely, that's a different guy. And Darren Sproles is definitely one of the best underrated running backs of all time. He's definitely a solid running back. He was solid for the Saints, solid for the Eagles. He was a very solid guy in the league, and he played for 10+ years, and that's unheard of to do with for a guy at that position. Can be that consistent and play for that long, and I think Deuce Vaughn can play like that because he played already in a Big 12 conference. He played against Alabama. He had 12 carries for like almost 140+ yards and 2 touchdowns. He was the main reason why they beat TCU in the Big 12 championship. So I think Deuce Vaughn can definitely play in this league. He just has to show out and prove it. And I think that if he subs up in the running back 2 position, I think it would put Dallas Cowboys' mind at ease and not having to worry about running back 2, because right now that's a big question. We'll have that problem solved by, late July when it's training camp, when they go to Oxnard, and then they also spend some time out in the Ford facility out in Dallas, Texas. So I think number 5 right now is Deuce Vaughn. I think he steps up. If there's not much of a big drop-off between him and Pollard, we should do just fine. And he is a guy that you can line up in the slot. You can put out in the backfield. He can block a little bit. And, he's explosive. If you throw a ball to him out in the swing route, he can take it. There's not much I already discussed that we don't already know about Deuce Vaughn. If you don't know him, check him out. There's plenty of film to look at. If you are worried about his size, I will look at games like I said, Big 12 against TCU just this past year. Him and Alabama played in the last game of the season. So I'll check those tapes out. Number 4 is Israel Mukuamu. For me, he showed up this year. He had a tremendous year 2 step, and it showed in the preseason. I believe that was week 2. Yeah, week 2 against the LA Chargers, where he stepped out. He got an interception. He caused a fumble. He was making big tackles, everything like that. That was just a preview of what he did, and then what he came into the regular season doing was tremendous, especially when it came down to the stretch of the season where we actually needed him because we didn't have much cornerback depth, and we needed to depend on him and his length. He showed up really well in that San Fran game, but most importantly, that Tampa Bay Buccaneer game. We were kind of concerned a little bit that if they wanted to put Mike Evans or Chris Evans in the slot, that we weren't going to have any support on the back end. So DaRon Bland was mostly our slot guy, our nickel guy, when Jordan Lewis-Howell went down early in the season. So they decided to stick DaRon Bland outside. And for that Tampa Bay game alone, we put Israel Mukuamu in the slot. He had 2 or 3 pass breakups. He was never beating coverage. He was always making a play every single time that Tom Brady had threw the ball at Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. He's a 6'4" safety, corner hybrid. He played corner at South Carolina when we drafted him in the 6th round in the 2021 draft. He didn't get much tick his first year, but, his second year, which was last year, he showed up tremendous. And I think that if he comes in and he has another year where he steps up, because right now you have a 3-headed monster, and that's with Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Jaron Kearse. They all have their own specialties. They're all great in their own aspect. Donovan Wilson, man, the thumper. He's gonna set the tone of the defense. He's gonna let you know what type of time in the defense is on for the day. He set that tone early in that Enter game when they did a little jet sweep to Debo, or they handed the ball in the backfield to Debo, and he ran at Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson smacked him. And right then and there, it told the Niners offense what time and time we're going to be on. And then not only that, he shifted Dalvin Cook's face mask. his second year into the league on the COVID year. He shifted his face mask and what caused a fumble on Dalvin Cook. So, and then he also popped Chris Godwin, thinking that he had it easy in the wild card, right sideline, about to score, and Dalvin Wilson laid the smack down, letting him know that what time it is. Malik Hooker does similar type things that he's just not in the box like Donovan is. Donovan gives you that other big nickel linebacker spot where he can play linebacker if he wants to, quarterback spy. Malik Hooker can do similar things, but mostly he's our up top safety. He's going to make sure that anything gets behind him or any receivers are crossing his face. He's going to make sure that he's doing everything in his power to not give the big play, because we do play a lot of cover one hole where we're playing a lot of man and we're playing a single high safety, or a lot of times when we're playing cover three, same thing, he's playing the deep middle safeties, making sure that nobody's getting burnt. So all Jaron Curse, specialty green dot guy, he's going to line everybody up, make sure they're in the right places to make plays. He's going to lock down and cover your best tight end or your slot guy or running back, whoever that may be. Whoever the player that can gain the most yards on the ground, whether that is, or somebody that can beat you underneath, that's what Jaron's going to do. I think Israel steps in as that fourth safety that can come in, play nickel, play outside if he wants to. He can play big nickel at the linebacker spot. He can do a lot of different things. He's versatile. And I think that if he steps up, we'll be just fine. That'll take our defense to another level. Number 3 is Damon Clark. I'm really proud of what he did, just for him having a spine, going through spinal fusion, basically having a whole new spine. In the spring, he got drafted in the 5th round. Same thing, draft experts deemed him a steal for the Dallas Cowboys. He had solid play for you against the Bears, which was his first game as an NFL pro. But just for him to come in, step in, and not have a real offseason, because his offseason was just recovering from his spinal fusion. He stepped into the NFL. He had reputable snaps as a linebacker 2 next to Leighton Vander Esch, and I think he did just fine with the snaps that he did have. I felt like he could have been a little bit better, but of course, you're playing on a new spine. You didn't have much training or any preparation to step into the league. That just goes to show you what Damon Clark brought to you. And, he forced a fumble in that Indianapolis Colts game. So, he stepped up also in that Titans game. So he had some games where, he looks bright in some spots. So, like I said, of course, the Bears game too. So I think Damon Clark really, that he comes in with a whole new offseason. And if he can come in and just be that thumper and be that guy that we can leave out in coverage and we can trust him to be out there when Leighton Vander Esch isn't, he can still fill in the run and everything like that. If Damon Clark can do that, we'll be just fine at linebacker 2. And I think he can be really generational with the help that we do have on the defensive side of the ball with Micah, Mozzie Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, all of the players around him. I think we'll be just fine. And then Sam Williams at number 2. Sam Williams, I think, had a really good year, his rookie year. I hear he has physical traits already. He's high. His IQ is really high already. He's already a very smart player. Physical. He's not scared to stick his nose into the run. He's not afraid to make a tackle. You see him do a hip toss tackle, which was, talk about that. I spoke about that a little bit in times before, but that was my favorite play of him doing that against the Detroit Lions, where he just picked up a running back and just slammed him down and caused a fumble and everything like that. Like, that was right there when I was like, okay, Sam Williams can really truly be something in this league. And he really just flipped the game and ended the game right there with that fumble. He picked it up. He caused a fumble. He picked up his own fumble, brought it down to the goal line, and that's when Dak Prescott threw his first touchdown, I want to say, to Peyton Hendershot. So, really, Sam Williams, if he just fixes up his pass rushing technicians and he's able to beat the tackles and he's able to, bring it in from a pass rush standpoint, he can give Micah Parsons a breather. That's what made Micah Parsons such, one of the best defensive players in 2021, but that's what got him the unanimous, defensive rookie of the year that year. Not only was he great, but then he had Randy Gregory, Dorrance Armstrong, DeMarcus Lawrence, who could still rush the passer. Then he had a couple other guys that could still rush the passer. That now Micah didn't really have to, go out there and play DN all the time, and that's what Micah did speak about a lot in his second year, was that when he got tired, he vocally said that, he's not the same He was tired throughout the season. That's why in this year he gained more pounds to take on the load. Then he also said that he wished that he can go back there and play linebacker to give him breaths in between games. You still have to run sideline to sideline and things of that nature, but you're not taking so much of a pounding when you're playing linebacker as if you are a defensive lineman or offensive lineman, because you're the first point of attack and you're the first people that thud up and face any sort of contact. That's where the first car crash develops, is at the line of scrimmage. So I think that if Sam Williams can take on that Randy Gregory role where he's able to rush the passer, play stoutly in the run game, and be solid from that aspect, I think that will free up Michael Parsons even more. Like I already started talking about with Mozzie Smith, how I already think he's going to bring something for you year one. So I think that if Sam Williams can step up, that would be such a great deal for Michael Parsons, because Michael Parsons can play and do whatever he wants in the defense, and that's what takes our defense to another stratosphere, is when number 11 can do whatever he wants to do and is not constricted into only playing defensive end, because they know that if they don't have him in there on defensive line, that they're either going to have all day to throw or that they're going to be able to run the ball at that side. So that's number 2. Number 1 is Jake Ferguson. I think when you have the best tight end in the league vouch for you, not only because he's seen your tape and he's seen you play before, but also, tight end U is a thing that's a very big thing in the NFL, that the tight ends, doesn't matter whether you start, whether you're a rookie, whether you're second, third string, 12, 13-year vet, you show up to the tight end university camp and it's headlined and it's, people leading the charge are some of the best tight ends in the league, whether that's Mark Andrews, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Kyle Pitts, whoever the case might be. You go out there and you learn your techniques and you look and you learn, and they teach you on how you can help out your team. From whether it's a run blocking scheme standpoint, whether it's in the pass game, whatever the case might be, whatever they utilize you as a tight end in your offense, that's what they go out and they show you. But really, just to go out there with Jake Ferguson, he had bright spots. He was the main reason why in the first time we played Philly, the reason why we got back into that game, he had a nice Euro step touchdown. He had a nice big play, a backside wheel that got up, that he caught to lead to the Zeke Elliott scoring drive to bring the game, score our first touchdown of the game. And then you also look at it that from a receiving standpoint, I think your three biggest playmakers in the offense outside of Dak is going to be Pollard, CD, and Brandon Cooks. I think those guys are going to most likely, outside the offensive line, make up for most of your points. And I think those are a lot of guys. I think CD Lamb, for sure, you're not going to leave him one-on-one. You're going to have to bracket him. Same thing with Brandon Cooks. He's a walking 1,000-yard receiver. Gallup, I've been hearing a lot of reports coming out of camp that he has been looking like 2019 version of himself. And if any of that is remotely true about Michael Gallup, we're going to be just fine, because I don't think you're going to want to put your third best corner on a guy like Michael Gallup, who is athletically gifted, and that's a guy that you can throw on a jag route. He'll jump over you, he'll make a move and turn it upfield and turn it for like a 30, 40-yard gain, because he has that sort of speed and that athleticism. So basically, with all that being said, and Tony Pollard that can work underneath, you can throw him any sort of pass, you can put him on a route, he'll score like that because he got 4.2, 4.3 speed. But with all that being said, I think with the defenses having to worry about a Tony Pollard, a CeeDee Lamb, and then a Brandon Cooks, and possibly even a Michael Gallup, that leaves Jake Ferguson as your fifth best offensive weapon outside of quarterback and offensive line that teams aren't really necessarily going to have to pay attention to. And I think Jake Ferguson could be one of the top 5 Cowboy role players. I think the best, potentially, if he steps in, he does his role, and if everyone else on the outside, Gallup, Cooks, CD, Pollard, take care of their jobs, I think that Ferguson will do just fine, eating up the middle of the field, eating up the sideline, anything underneath. And I think he has that sort of athleticism, as was showcased on Thanksgiving against the New York Giants, again against your other division rival in the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. And then also he also had a big 30, 40-yard gain against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers first round of the playoffs. So I think Jake Ferguson can do just fine as tight end 1 for us. And I think that he could potentially be the best role player on our team. That if he does step up, it brings another element to this offense. And he run blocks really great as well. So again, just to overcap or just recap the five Cowboy players that role players that if they step up, will elevate our team. Number 5 would be Deuce Vaughn. 4 would be Israel Mukuamu. 3 would be Damon Clark. 2 would be Sam Williams, and 1 would be Jake Ferguson. That's it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe. Bye.